Wednesday night Trinity class. We're here. Where are you? You're sitting at home going, God, I missed it again. Don't worry, we do it every Wednesday night. It's super fun. We take a particular energy that we've meditated on and we try and have a physical experience of it through some of the many techniques that I've learned in my years of martial arts training. Tonight, we're talking about the energy of innocence. Probably the first thing you think of when I say innocence is little bitty kids. Kids have that wonderful sense of innocence that we adults seem to have lost. It's mostly because they haven't begun to think of things as fixed yet. We think of things as fixed. I have a cup of coffee. I think the molecules in that cup are what they are. They're always going to stay that way. It is a cup. It becomes this set in stone now, cup. And we treat it as such, and we don't worry about it ever becoming anything different. But it is always becoming something different. Kids know that. If you've ever had a cup of coffee around a kid, they've probably asked you, like, why is the cup not turning brown? The liquid's brown. To them, that makes sense, that things can just change like that. And they go, that's silly. The cup is not going to change. But it is. The cup's constantly changing. It's slow. 5,000 years from now, it will crumble into dust. It's a slow change, but it's constantly changing. It's not fixed as a cup. If I were to take it and smash it on the floor, it wouldn't be a cup anymore. It's quite capable of change. It's constantly changing. In fact, you could even say that we live in a world without nouns. Everything's a verb. The molecules in that cup are cupping the coffee right now, but that doesn't mean they're a cup. If you can get to that place where you feel the becoming of things, then you can reclaim your innocence. A really easy way that I know to do that is to stand on one foot. Just doesn't matter which one. Shift your foot. I'll back up a little bit. Shift your foot so that all the weight's on one foot. And then try and hold yourself upright. You'll feel that gravity is constantly working on you. You're making all of these adjustments just to stay upright. You don't notice it so much with 2 feet. It's happening with 2 feet. But it really emphasizes it when you shift your weight into 1 foot. You can make these adjustments in a regular, systematic way, and they become more powerful. If I think of my foot as having 4 corners, and I imagine putting those 4 corners down, and then instead of popping my hip out, I'm just going to crease it a little bit. Foot, crease, sternum lift, shoulders draped over the back and down the spine, and chin tucks in. If I run through that little checklist, foot, crease, chest, shoulders, chin, foot, crease, chest, shoulders, chin. The faster I run through it, the more adjustments I make, the more steady I become. And pretty soon, I'm aware of this constant state of change, but I'm not being pushed over by it. I'm in a much more steady, stable place because I'm constantly making these adjustments. But after I stop, I go, man, that was difficult. My muscles are kind of aching. That put a lot of strain on my muscles. So I'm going to show you a way to take the strain off of your muscles. You can do this by pushing against a wall or some dumbbell weights, or if you have a partner, you can use them. I just want Brian to provide a little bit of force. He's just pushing a little bit, and I'm pushing back, and I want to feel the strain in my forearms, and maybe a little bit in my triceps. When I get to the place where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm resisting and I can feel the pressure in my arms, I want to transfer that pressure to my elbow joints. Sometimes you have to wiggle a little bit to do that. Sometimes you can just tell your body, shift to the joints so that your muscles are relaxed now, but it feels like your joints are really taking the pressure. A little bit more pressure and they might pop. Okay, I feel it all in my elbow joints now. And so what I'm going to do is just breathe into them, like blowing up a balloon that's resting between my arm bones there. Just breathe into them, extend those joints, stretch them out with that balloon inside of them until they don't feel the pressure. So now my muscles don't feel the pressure, and now my joints don't feel the pressure. Where did the pressure go? It went into my fascia, the connective tissue, that elastic, springy tissue that lives right under your skin, surrounds your whole body like a skin of saran wrap. You can see it in chicken skin. If you ever cook chicken, there's that little layer of connective tissue right under the skin. That's what we're talking about. I don't feel the pressure in my joints. I don't feel it in my muscles. Now it is my fascia that's taking the pressure. When you do that, you can get to a place where you're on that one foot again, but instead of trying to hold yourself still with constant adjustments to the various points in your body, you just let it go into your joints, your ankle, your hip, your knee. You don't even have to lift your foot very high. As long as it's, all of your weight's on one side, you can even kind of just rest it there like it was a tiny sheet of paper between your foot and the ground. And then you breathe into those joints, extending them, expanding them, until they're not taking the pressure. And suddenly it's not so difficult to stand here. You still feel that constant state of change. You're making thousands of little micro adjustments, and you can feel that. But it's not wearing you out, because it's not your muscles doing the work. When you get to that place, you can have somebody challenge you a little bit. Like, I'm standing here, and Brian starts mentioning things that might be stressful to me. Like, how's your job going? I hear you've got some big bills coming up. Don't you have 2 kids in college? How's that going for you? So you find somebody that knows you a little bit, let them challenge you with something that you might ordinarily find stressful, just a conversational topic that might make you go, oh God, yes, I gotta do something about that. And instead of coming to grips with that thing as if it were a thing, you're going to think, wait, I am constant change. And you're going to remind yourself of that by just lifting your weight off of one foot, putting it in the other, and breathing into your joints so that they're not taking the strain. I still feel the constant adjustment, but it's not stressful for me. Now go ahead, hit me with something.
Is that a new dent in your car, Russell? Seems like it was a scratch or something.
Good. You can feel it just bounce off of you. You're just like this constant vibrating place of change. And it's like he can't pinpoint you anymore. He's shooting arrows at you, but you're changing and the arrows are changing and nothing is really penetrating you anymore. It's a great way to live in this place of innocence where anything's possible. These things don't have to be problems. They can change. That cup of coffee could become a magic potion. Kids believe that. You can feel that too. If you get this constant state of change that you're physically feeling in your body, you can even get to the point where you stop shifting your weight. I'm putting both of my feet down now. I'm letting all of my weight rest normally in my feet like I would on a normal day when I'm walking. I'm not trying to do the one-legged thing, but I'm still expanding my joints so that I can feel that constant little shift, like I'm walking on a tightrope. All these little micro adjustments that my body is making against gravity, I can feel them now. I've been conditioning my awareness, and now I can just tune into it, even when I'm standing on 2 feet. And when I can do that, any stress coming at me can instantly be dispersed, can be laughed at, can be viewed through the eyes of a child where anything is possible and this doesn't have to be a problem. Give it a try, and if you love that